All right, welcome. We are talking about Patreon and why we create this Patreon account today. I have with me Leland and Pierce on the chat today. We're going to discuss a little bit about their backgrounds and why I chose to bring those two on to our new Patreon account. And also, what is the whole idea behind the Patreon? Where did it come from? Where did it start? I will start the conversation. I had an idea when looking at the IT telecommunications industry, cybersecurity space, knowing that it's the second largest area in terms of spending for the government, and also in the future where a lot of the efforts are going to be uh, the focus in terms of the government and how they spend money, and also in terms of the contract and opportunities coming out. They're finding new and clever ways to spend in IT, and because it's one of those questions that people often ask me about, right? And for terms of my email list, probably about 30 to 40% of my email list is focused on that area. So I decided when creating new upcoming How Do You Win Contracts in the IT space video, I said, I know people are going to want more than just a video. So I decided, let me go ahead and create a Facebook group. And on top of the Facebook group, I want to go a step further and actually take a look at some of the opportunities, describe how you can get involved in those opportunities as well. And I decided to bring in and enlist some of the people that I've been working with in the past, helping me with federal contracting, and particularly people who have a background and a specialty in the area of IT, telecom, and cybersecurity. So first of all, Leland, welcome.
Hello, how are you doing?
Great, great, great. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. So I am an IT professional. I've been in IT for the last 22 years. I graduated with actually a degree in electrical engineering. But from there, I started working with consulting companies, Anderson Consulting, did a little bit of work with several different industries. So I went from there into the telecom industry, working for AT&T. I worked with FedEx, Kinko's, so on the other side in the shipping industries, and then spent a little time in the healthcare IT. So I've worked in IT and kind of rounding out my career. I would say from a career perspective, I've been in a project role, migrating from a technician to a project management role into the supply chain area of IT. And currently, on a current one of my current contracts with our company is with OpenText, and we do I provide project management for their cloud solutions IT.
Okay, thank you. And one of the other persons that's going to be in the background that you guys are going to get a chance to meet is Pierce. If you don't already know him, he's on some of my videos that we posted talking about BAs, CSOs, OTAs. Pierce?
Hello, everyone. Pierce here. My background, I'm a former military intelligence analyst. Upon getting out of the military, I ventured into the IT space. I've actually been awarded competitions to actually do IT work at the local level, and I've worked with a few companies getting them federal opportunities when it comes to things like broad agency announcements, other transaction agreements, reverse pitch competitions, anything that kind of help them innovate their technology when it comes to working with the government and the DoD when it comes to research and development or any new type of innovation when it comes to technology itself.
Okay. And the Patreon account, what is going to be your role in terms of the Patreon?
So as far as the Patreon account goes, the same process that I use when I'm working with clientele will be the same process that I'm going to be using when it comes to the Patreon account. So the same way that I go through and I pick out the information that's needed instead of getting too far into the weeds. First, you want to make sure that the contract is something that's worth pursuing. So with the Patreon account, that's pretty much what we're doing. So much information comes out on the regular. It's hard for you to be able to keep up with that and your day-to-day operations if you are a business. So the benefit of the Patreon account is we actually highlight the opportunities that are out there. We highlight the important information that you need to see within the opportunity. So instead of taking, I don't know, maybe like a day or two running it through the process of your company within about 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes max, you can look at the opportunity, see if it's something for you, and see if it's beneficial to you and your company.
And Leland, what kind of frequency, what are we going to be actually submitting to people? So what are the people going to expect to receive from us?
So they're going to be able to receive information about the different opportunities that are out there, be it a BAA, be it a CSO, or the cybers, whatever is currently out there in the IT area. And what we'll do is we'll go in and break down some of that information, and we're going to do it based off of a list that we're going out and pulling and massaging, and then that list is going to be presented by due dates, whenever the due date is. So we're try to do the most recent or close due dates first, and then moving further and further back. We'll break down each one of those opportunities down into the high levels of what needs to be completed. Number two, when does that need to be completed by? And number three, how do we go about in completing each one of those items? There are some very specific items within each one of the solicitations that may come out, and they have to be completed in a certain manner. So we'll try to discuss that at a high level, and then after that, open it up for Q&A in a later session.
Okay. Now, again, how is that, Pierce? One of the things that we talked about, well, and Leland, both of you, either way, is that one of the things we want to encourage is people to be able to team and work with other people in the group and in the organization. How is what you're doing in terms of the information you're taking out going to help facilitate that?
So with the information that you're going to receive that we'll be putting out weekly, we'll be recommending the best fits for certain opportunities. So if you are an IT company and you might not have that capability, you can always find somebody within the GovCon Giant Group or another pre-existing company that we might recommend to be able to partner with to go after one of these opportunities if it is a space that your company is choosing to break into.
Okay.
And I'll add to that also. I'll give you an example. We currently, our company is focused mostly on the consulting side of federal contracting. However, there was a CSO that came out that where one of the agencies needed aviation expertise. And so we didn't have that aviation expertise, but we were able to look at our previous relationships. And so that's one of the things, as Pierce mentioned, what not only are we going to provide you with companies that are similar to that, but also encourage you to go and use your own network to find people that maybe have that experience. So we end up going with a different company that had more expertise in aircraft maintenance. And so now we're building a teaming agreement to take down one of the CSO options.
That's a great example. It sounds like to me that you're going to be covering everything from A to Z in terms of what the opportunity looks like, where to go out and find and identify partners. And then also you may also help with using the Facebook group, the IT and Telecom Facebook group, help match people up together as well. Is that accurate?
I would say that's exactly right.
Okay, great. And the other thing I just want to be clear, what people can expect, and we've got it in the description, but I'll just go over it, is we're going to have 1 to 5 opportunities per week. We're going to have a video that discusses the opportunities and goes through and breaks them down the way Pierce described it. And in addition to that, we're planning on having a live Q&A session that's going to be led by Leland at least once a week, and where we have discussions about the particular opportunities and also any questions that people may have about specifics. Is there anything that I left out, guys?
No, that sounds like, for the most part, the meat and potatoes of it.
Leland, anything?
I think that's great. That's a good description of kind of what we're going to do in a nutshell.
Okay. All right. No, well, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to put this word out, and this would be the first video that people get to watch, learn, and discover all about our new Patreon, IT and Telecom opportunities.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
For your time.